Hey everybody, my toy bonsai Boise. This is my lemon cypress tree. I started this last year. And I'll just cut right to the chase and say I don't like how it looks right now for a couple of reasons. I don't really care for the design or the structure of it. This is how it started. And then I'll get back to my rant about what I don't like about it. But I got it because it seemed to have some cool movement, and it was on clearance for like $5. So hey, why not? So this is last year, September of 23. I didn't really have a solid plan. I just kind of went at it. That's sort of the nice thing about these clearance trees, is that you can go at them with a sense of not much to lose. It's like, hey, you paid $5 for it. I mean, sure, you don't want to destroy it, but it's not as if you paid $200 for it or something. So it gives you a little bit of creative freedom there without all the risk. So I went at it without a solid plan, and it ended up looking like this. A little goofy. Took a few cuttings, one of which rooted. And at the time, back to my rant about what I don't like, I didn't really have many available bonsai pots. I went with this one. It was just, I don't know why, but it was just the best option I had at the time. But I really don't like how it looks in that pot. The pot is too big. Even the color, it just doesn't really complement the tree at all. It's just a little tree, but still. So here it is the following winter. I kept it in the grow tent. I started to put on some new growth. I wired up the branches a little bit to handle some of the goofiness of the movement. You can see some new growth there, the brighter yellow and green tips. Kind of thinking about what to do with it in the future. And I just kind of let it go. And here it is as of first week of August, or first week and a half of 24. You can see it has grown out quite a bit. There's that little cutting. And so again, I don't have a solid plan going into this, but I know I gotta do something, because I'm just not happy with how it looks. I definitely like the tree. I just kind of don't like the style that I went with, and I definitely don't like the pot. The foliage is kind of funny on these. It loves to grow new branches out of the elbow of other branches, which is not what you want, ideally. But on the positive side, they have very dense foliage, very tight. Kind of gets a little looser towards the growing tips. So I start with just some of the obvious things, like branches coming out of the bottom of branches, other branches. Anywhere that I see, multiple branches coming out of one spot. A couple fun facts on these. They're native to, I want to say it's Monterey Bay, or Monterey Peninsula, maybe it is, in California. They love full sun, so they love all the sunshine they can get. I notice they do the best in relatively cool conditions. I think I brought it inside at one point that day because of something, I forget why. But they like it in cool conditions. And when I say cool, I'm saying as opposed to 100 degrees. More like, 80. I think if you could create the ideal conditions, bright and 80 degrees. I have not left these outside over winter time. I don't know if they are cold hardy, but I get the impression that they probably are not. If I see another clearance one, I might get it and just try, just as a guinea pig. I might just leave it out all winter and see if it survives. And it took me a little while to get the hang of how to trim these. The temptation is there to just hedge prune them, just, here's the shape I want, and just cut it into that shape. But I really try to avoid that if I can. So it takes a little more work. You really have to kind of dig in there and see where the branches are coming from, but that's how you get better ramification, and that's how you avoid reverse taper. See, like right in there, branches coming out of the elbow of other branches. And take the long, stringy branches down lower. And that's how you get good, healthy, aesthetically pleasing ramification. This one is still very young and on its way to being aesthetically pleasing. It's not quite there yet, but we're trying to get it on track. And at this point now, I'm trying to figure out, what do I want to do with it? Maybe get rid of that. Maybe get rid of the bottom right. Maybe the left. And the pot. I can't say for absolute sure the best time of the year to repot these, but I can tell you that I have had the best luck repotting them so far. I've had a few of them. One I did in the dead of winter, and I think it would have survived, but also I moved shortly after and it was outside in the cold a little, and I just think the aftercare wasn't there and it died. This one, as you saw, I repotted in September of last year and it did fine. Now here it is 3 weeks after I trimmed it, and the more I looked at it, the more I realized, you know what? I still just don't like it. I'm gonna get drastic with it. So I do. I get kind of dramatic and I chop off its head. Boing, just like that. And wouldn't you know, I like it better now. It solves half the problem, the tree structure problem. But we still got the problem of the pot. The pot, it's too big, the color doesn't complement it, it's just all wrong. So I look around and I find this one. It's smaller. It's kind of a bright blue, so it sort of complements that yellow on the foliage. So even though it's late August, I'm just going to repot it. Do this at your own risk, because like I said, I don't know the best time of year for sure to do this. But being that it's, I don't know what I would call it. It's not a tropical, but it's not super cold hardy either. So due to that, I think you can kind of get away with this. At least I have been. One other fun feature about these two is the foliage. When you cut them, it has kind of a lemon scent almost. It's kind of nice. Some trees out there, you cut them and they almost smell like a weed or something. This one actually has a pleasant smell when you cut it. I didn't get drastic with the roots because I'm kind of risking it already doing it this time of year. But so far I'm thinking that this is the right decision. I like the structure better now. It's still just a skinny little thing. It's got a long way to go, but that's okay. At least we kind of have a plan now. There's the soil I'm going with. Pine bark, pumice, perlite, a little bit of academia, and some volcanic rock. And some safety absorb. A little bit of safety absorb in there. I sort of accept the risk going into this, repotting this late in the year, knowing it may not like it and may not survive, who knows. But it was a risk worth taking because I didn't like it the way it was. Sometimes you gotta take risks. Or be more responsible and remember earlier in the year, that too. And so this is how it looks now. I gotta say, I like it a lot better. I'll like it even more when the trunk thickens up, which is gonna take a few years. But I at least like the direction it's going. It's got some cool movement. It's not quite as goofy. It's a little more, I don't know, elegant, I guess. I think the pot size fits it better. I think the pot color is better. All in all, I just like it a lot better now. Even the cut where I did that trunk chop right there, I think that'll heal over and kind of blend in pretty soon. And I think there's still enough time in the grow season for it to heal up and kind of recover. And so here's how it is as of yesterday. New growth. So it survived. It was a risk worth taking and it paid off. So I'm much happier with it now. And I hope some of my ups and downs with this might help anybody else out there who's got one. Leave me any comments you've got. If you've got experience on it, I'd love to hear it. I'm still learning these lemon cypress trees. But, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Appreciate that. Thanks for watching. Have a good rest of your day.